Sergeant Klik'ik of the Ralkovian Planetary Forces, stepped off the transport shuttle, taking his first steps on the human homeworld, Earth. He'd heard astonishing accounts of human ferocity from rotational warriors who had served alongside them. Now General Strawn offered Klik'ik a rare opportunity: observe human military capabilities firsthand at one of their elite academies. Klik'ik's chitinous torso armor felt exposed without the typical force fields of frontline gear. But the academy had forbidden anything which could appear threatening during his educational tour. His guide was retired Colonel Jabari Gaines, a dark-skinned human with a predatory smile that reminded Klik'ik of battle-scarred Imperial elites. The colonel first escorted him through irrelevant mundanities: dormitories, mess halls, training yards where cadets chanted marching songs. Klik'ik bristled at this waste of time when he had come to see weapons that could level cities. Yet there was opportunity to study human exercise equipment, obviously meant to stress durability, despite their soft, pale bodies. Perhaps physical toughness helped compensate for lack of plating. Finally, they entered the Armaments Museum, every surface covered in glass cases or tactical displays of military assets, historical and modern. Gleaming metal war engines stood alongside mannequins outfitted through the ages. This Klik'ik could appreciate: evolution, refined by science directed toward martial supremacy. Gaines smiled, noting his engrossment. I thought the cultural background essential context first, but let's deliver what you truly crossed light years to see. They passed cabinets of swords and pikes from millennia of close-quarters fighting manual dexterity. Shelves of chemical slug throwers transitioned to portable railguns and sequential energy rifles. Walls were dedicated solely to human projectile technology progression. Klik'ik's vocabulator blinked warnings translating explosive yield metrics and nuclear terminology. He pointed at atomic missile diagrams. These dispersed multiple radiation warheads across continental distances. Correct, though we refine targeting to reduce bystander casualties as much as feasible. Gaines watched Klik'ik closely. Rest assured, though, today we reserve those exclusively as counterforce deterrents rather than tactical battlefield deployment. We have enough other options at hand without going nuclear. This did not comfort Klik'ik given the racing evolution evident all around him. What emerged next from these clever, vicious pipes? They passed exhibits on computing technology, robotics, autonomous drones. Every advance honed to seek and destroy enemies more efficiently. Particularly unnerving was the smiling lack of concern both Gaines and the displays showed while outlining lethal potential. Klik'ik realized even his battle-hardened people were still innocents next to human disregard for bloodshed. They practically cultivated it as art form. They entered a projection room with seating arranged before a vast cylindrical holo display. Gaines input commands, summoning a parade of missile and artillery systems. Now this should impress based on your interest earlier. We'll start small, then progress accordingly. Klik'ik sat dumbfounded as centuries of rocketry development played out. Gaines casually detailed fuel variants, multiple independent re-entry vehicles, guidance system breakthroughs. Only the virtuoso subtlety of programming prevented Klik'ik from fleeing outright back to the shuttle. Swarms of drones blossomed amid ballistic flights, coordinating saturation attacks, propulsion and navigation. Concepts difficult for even Ralkovian engineers to grasp became commonplace fixtures of human arsenals. Gaines almost preened explaining exponential cost to harden or improve components. This entire race clearly reveled in crafting ever more proficient tools to rain death upon their foes. The parade of overkill culminated with launch footage of the Peacemaker Orbital kinetic bombardment, satellite unleashing a dozen tungsten slugs in demonstration. Gaines solemnly outlined how the network could sanitize entire continents if needed, then showed the actual damages. Smoking impact craters stretched across kilometers as drones surveyed rubble that was once sprawling military bases. Yet instead of solemn regret, his face held satisfaction at a job well done. Klik'ik couldn't translate anything, enamored under barrage of grisly knowledge. Sensing overflow, Gaines paused the presentation. My apologies for overwhelming you. We humans often forget what newcomers consider basic developments have unsettling He waved the images into standby mode, then turned fully toward Klik'ik. I understand your people also fight threats to your worlds. Surely you can relate necessity driving advancement. We pursued deterrence and de-escalation whenever possible now. His tracker beads blinked uncertainty, whether Klik'ik was listening anymore. The colonel brightened. Wait, I know it will lighten spirits. The mock urban village for counterinsurgency tests. You can witness squad tactics firsthand. Built from past battle analyses. Highly realistic. Come see human fire teams in action, then we'll grab chow. He made an odd puckering sound Klik'ik slowly recognized as a friendly gesture. Within minutes, Gaines ushered him toward overlooking bleachers as multiple fire teams advanced through the ravaged test zone. Klik'ik started as explosions and gunshots echoed all around. Gaines pointed out aspects of cover leapfrog movement, suppressive barrages as others flanked. Klik'ik reluctantly focused on the inoffensive choreography rather than screaming war cries audible even from afar. He had to admit aesthetics of their drills held disciplined power, weaving between storms of lead. Even casualties followed mission protocols before efficiency removing them from the battlefield. Gaines noted Klik'ik's antennae relaxed slightly. See, for all our weapons' innovating prowess, foot soldiers remain the backbone for occupation and peacekeeping missions. The demonstration concluded with only 25 losses deemed acceptable margins. Some survivors sported appalling wounds, yet still limped or crawled to extract comrades. Gaines nodded in approval. Adaptive resilience continues critical on chaotic battlegrounds. Now let's see you safely home after filling your guts with best chili mac me. Klik'ik managed appropriate farewells through the fog of revelations. He ignored most of the uneventful return flight, mandibles grinding ceaselessly. Ralkovian command must be warned about these human monsters honing new ways to rain death upon worlds. Tempering their battle joy into diplomatic conduits was clearly Senator Keklenor's greatest achievement. The only possible counterbalance was appealing to whatever ethics or morality humans respected amid their loyalty to warbands. Their psychotic fixation on bonding through shared combat experiences evidently constrained how they wielded some devices. Really, other avenues of trust besides slaughter existed. But it was no use. Klik'ik lacked skill at such subtle persuasions. He would render a full report, then trust leadership to chart safest courses. Hopefully General Strawn and the cunning senators probing gently for what human hearts prized beyond carnage. Multiple shields, ready if uncovered secrets proved worse than already known. As the shuttle landed, one fact shone clear. Ralkovians must thank ancestors that humanity currently called them brother warriors rather than targets. Yet Klik'ik knew now never to fully drop guard around those hypnotized by war's siren song. Inside, even his veteran's heart quailed at what melodies humanity might sing if they unleashed themselves once again without restraint.